Another short video today. This time I want to talk about something that's got a certain group of people all riled up. And that's EBT being made to where you can only buy real food on it, no junk food. And the wife and I were talking about this, and we remember what it was like when we were young. And back then they had food stamps, and that's we were on them when we were kids. I got married when I was 19, so we had 3 kids right off the bat, and we were living in a low-income apartment. But back then they didn't give you a ton of food stamps, and we oftentimes ran short, and we didn't have money for junk food. You're buying mostly hamburger at the time because it was cheap. So my wife learned to cook a lot of things. She baked a lot. And when the kids needed or wanted a treat, she'd bake them something. And guess what? The ingredients are still covered on EBT. So these women are being lazy when they want to buy the junk food pre-made and not cook. So you can still buy flour, cocoa, chocolate chips. You can still buy all eggs and butter and all the ingredients. So you know what? Hey, buy the ingredients, bake some homemade brownies. Make some homemade peanut butter cookies or some homemade chocolate chip cookies for your kids. They don't need all that factory-made garbage anyhow. It's worse for them. And it's supposed to be a treat. You're not supposed to eat this stuff every day, right? We used to make homemade donuts when I was a kid because we couldn't afford to go out and buy donuts. You only went out to eat like once every 6 months or a year. We couldn't afford to go eat all the time. And soda pop, you couldn't afford soda pop. This was when I was a kid growing up, when you paid cash for stuff. You couldn't afford to buy this junk unless you were rich. And all the soda pop came in glass bottles. And maybe during summer, if you had some extra money from doing yard work, you could go get a soda. And that was a big treat, I got enough money for a soda. This is a hot day. We're going to get a cold, so this could be good. So we relished it. We really relished going out to a restaurant. Even McDonald's was a big deal. But now everybody's entitled to everything. They want it all the time. And we wonder why we're all 300-400 pounds and can't get up out of our chairs. Or it's like, come on, people. It's not hard to figure this out. And this completely off the topic. Let's talk about divorce. When I was a kid, the laws on divorce changed in 1969 in California. They passed the no-fault divorce laws, right? Because the EBT, the food stamps, the eating and all that kind of stuff, the single mom nonsense, that's the smaller problem. The bigger problem is divorce in this country has ruined our country. Because now, I watched this happen throughout my life. When I was a kid, nobody was divorced. You had to prove that your spouse was committing adultery or they abandoned you before you could get a divorce, before they passed the no-fault divorce laws. Well, when they passed the no-fault divorce laws, people started getting divorced because women weren't happy. Well, you know what? Nobody's happy all the time. And then they keep telling people lies. Well, you deserve to be happy. And the heart wants what the heart wants. It's all nonsense, okay? In Jeremiah, it says, the heart's deceitfully wicked above all things. Who can know it? Stop listening to your lying heart. Listen to what God says in his word. He tells you what's good and he tells you what's wrong. He tells you what's bad and evil. He tells you what's good and beautiful. Stop listening to the lies of the world. You accept the lies of the world, you're thinking demonically. That's the bottom line. You've accepted the spirit of the world. You got to stop that. You got to believe what God says in his word, and you got to live that out. Be obedient to it. So you get married, you stay married. And if we got rid of that fatherlessness, had dads out working, earning a living, and keeping mom and the kids at home, if we had that back again today, the government would hate it because they'd have half the taxpayers. But society would be better, our country would be better, and the kids would be better. And that's the bottom line. So you take that, think about it for a little bit, tell me what you think.